Hola amigos, este video es cortesía de angelavarias.com. El enlace se encuentra al pie de la página. Dale me gusta, suscríbete a mi canal y no te olvides de darle un clic a la campana para que recibas notificación apenas carguemos nuestro nuevo video. Comenta, dale me gusta y comparte con otros. All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It is today, March the 2nd. March the 2nd, 2021, the third month of the year, and the time is just flying. I don't know how is it for you, but I just noticed 2 months went by. 2 months went by. So thank you for being here with me. Angela Barrios, your certified financial coach. I appreciate this gathering. This time we have together with the reason of impacting your world, making a change, putting something in your life, something that hopefully you're going to apply, something that you're going to do that is going to really impact your financial life, impact your business life, impact your spiritual life, your mental life, everything that has to do with you, your family, those people that you love and you care for. And I want to welcome you to this evening. Today we have a great subject because I had a lot of requests into building wealth and the keys to build wealth. And I think it's very valuable that people are very much into producing more money, making more money, increasing their income. Not so much so to spend less, which is always good. But really to make more money. So I want to welcome you all. And as people go joining with the minutes, I just want to remind you that you can always reach out to all the material that I'm leaving here with the purpose of learning for you and the people you know. You can please share my videos with other people you care for so they can learn more about being conscientious about the money, how to build wealth, how to get out of debt, and many more subjects, income taxes, several things, several stuff that we've been talking along these past weeks. And as I mentioned since the very beginning, we promise to be live here, bringing something of value for you, for your life, every Tuesday in English, every Thursday in Spanish is the same subject. All I'm doing is catering to different languages. Maybe we add something more later on, who knows, right? The most important thing is you can reach all this information also on my YouTube channel. Just go there and you can share with your YouTube friends. Like, subscribe, comment. If you want to hear or learn about something in a specific, don't be afraid, just ask. Send me a direct message and let me know what are your questions, your doubts, what is it exactly that I can be of help. And I'll be more than glad, more than happy to help you with everything I've got. You can reach out, more information, register for upcoming seminars. We're going to have a workshop actually coming up that has to do with identity protection. You want to learn about identity protection, about how to protect your identity, your social security number, your credit cards, your banking, all that kind of thing that today, we don't necessarily experience people coming and erupting in your house, stealing things, even though I know it happens. But today is cyber crime. And so it all has to do with money too. It's also a very hot subject. And so we're going to be talking about very, very different things. So for this week, as we promised, we announced a couple of weeks ago the subjects of themes that we are going to be developing because people ask, and I know you want to separate, I know you want to log this into your calendar and make sure that you share with me right at this time so you can ask questions. So here it is, the subject of this week, creating multiple saving goals. In the past, we talked about 3 major accounts that will make you rich. If you are like watching this for the very first time, what you just heard, just go into my IGTV and look for, and all the titles are displayed on each video. Easy to find. Look for the 3 main accounts that will make you rich, and just go explore that information. It's gonna serve you very, very well. Believe me, those are the 3 main components that you have to have in order to build wealth. So let's get started. And I remind you that if you want visuals of this IGTV, the video stays there. Otherwise, you can always go to my YouTube channel, and all this information is there too. So creating multiple saving goals. What is it about? It's about adding another key point to build wealth. It's making sure that you are accumulating. At some of the moments, we'll talk about reducing the spending, but I'm not as crazy as when it comes up to reducing spending, not as crazy as it is to me the fact that it's better to save more money. I'll talk about the subject later, about why spending versus accumulating. Spending is important, but not as important as it is to accumulating. Okay, so living frugally is always great, but I do believe, and maybe we're experiencing a little bit of a poor connection. Hopefully it's momentarily. So for some people, it's really difficult to understand how to multiply the money, because every time you think about making more money, it's like, I have to work more hours, or it's going to be much more difficult. So that is a mindset that we have to change. It's important to change the way you view things in regard to multiplication, because maybe the little you have, or the not so much you have right now, it's enough to actually produce more. You just don't have the money in the right place. Maybe you got stuck at some point. You started saving some money and you got stuck, and you don't know how to get that to the next level. So you have to move. Money doesn't like to stay in one place. Money doesn't like to stay in one place. It's an object. So you bring energy to that. And if you just leave money in one place and you don't move the money constantly, it just gets stagnant. It's a reflection of you. So here it is. Let's talk about this creation of savings, different goals. So the objective here tonight, pretty much you and me, it's how to spread your wealth. Then you say, Angela, I don't really have wealth yet all the way. Some of you will say, I have a lot of wealth. I really don't know if I need to learn something more. And some others are in the creation of that. And maybe you just got a little stuck. You need to learn a little bit more about spreading your wealth. This is not giving away necessarily. It's about how you allocate the money. How much money, how often you have to save, and where and with who, how you do it. All these are things that we are going to develop tonight. Also, building a plan to take upon this action, setting your goals. What is the variety that you have to have? It's like kind of like eating a salad. You just don't want to have the lettuce. You want to have different kinds of salads, so it tastes different and nice, and it gives you some flavor every day. The same happens with money, and when you accumulate money, you just got to have different vehicles to do it. Protect your assets, because if you're building wealth, you got to do that too, and leave a legacy. That's the most important thing in the objective on creating multiple saving goals. So remember, we're talking about multiple saving goals. There are 5 reasons to have multiple saving goals. Many people assume the only need to have that you need to have is like one saving account. I put all the money there, and then I keep accumulating. Remember, I just mentioned that money doesn't like to stay still. You have to move it. You have to move it. The multiplication comes with the movement. So for some people, that's all right just to have one account, but you don't really get to grow. You have to open, or you have to have in mind that opening several accounts or having several ways to save, it's going to account for multiplying your money faster. It is just a principle. I did not invent that. I have to say, I cannot take credit for that. I just apply that and I see how it works. So it always works. Okay. There are many reasons that having multiple accounts can be useful. And it doesn't impact your credit. So it's not like opening credit cards that every time or asking for loans, that every time you apply for a new credit card, boom, it hits your credit score. This has nothing to do with that. So if you have, let's just say, three different banks in your local area, and your bank offers you, let's just say, a bonus to open an account, take it, right? Take it. Why not? As long as you have an objective for that account, you can make use of whatever bonus. Sometimes these banks offer $100, $200. They are in need of new accounts constantly. They have to move the money, so the same amount cannot stay in the bank institution for long. They have to show different amounts at different times. So it works. It's just banking rule. So remember, having different accounts, we have reasons for that. And so one of the things is you have to track your progress. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why tracking your progress is important. Because when you have one set account, and let's just say you have your checking account, you have your savings account, and now you put all the money in your savings account. Every time you make some extra, you got a bonus, you get an increase, you have some extra income, you work an odd job, whatever, you get some money, you put it in your savings account. But now you're saving, but you're not objecting. There is no target, not a specific target for the money. So therefore, this money is going to grow just to a certain level. That's what it's going to do. It does for everybody. It does for everybody, unless you have identified specific goals for which you have to save. We'll talk about those in a minute. So having the amount of money that you need in each goal or in each account is going to help you understand how much more money you have to make for each account. Having separate account is important so you can identify the goal. So it's okay if you want to name the account. Let's just say buying a second car, or first time home account, vacation fund, emergency fund, I don't know, kids specific goals, Christmas fund, whatever it is that you want to have it separated. You don't want to have all the money in one account because it's difficult for you to know how much money you need for what. And in one only statement, it's very difficult to account how much you have on each goal per se. Now, when it comes to tracking your progress, what I mean by that is that when you know how much you need to have for a specific goal, like last week or previous to that, we were talking about purchasing your first house. So I gave some in my video there, I left some information about what you need to do. Now, when you're going to buy a house, if you don't have full cash to purchase the entire property, then you're going to have to request a loan. Now, part of the cost is going to be afforded by you, meaning you're going to have some money saved for your initial payment and for your closing cost. Now, if you just save that money along with the emergency fund, when the emergency comes, maybe one or two types of emergency at the same time, you might end up touching the money that you supposedly are saving towards buying your house. That's why it's very important that you separate the goals, that you separate the accounts, and it's okay if one account it's in one bank, one account is in another financial institution. And for the sake of this, I want to try to eliminate the word bank account at a bank, because the way to save is not only at the bank. There are better ways to save rather than bank. The banking institutions might not like me a lot when I say this, but it's the reality. A bank institution is there to give you a routing and an account number so you can transact money. But in the transaction, they're making 9 times whatever money you put in there, pretty much. So they are always making sure that they are making money with whatever money you put in your account, believe it or not. So it is important for you to learn all the ways to save besides the banking institution. So I'm just going to use the word savings and the word investment and also in correlation, even though they are not the same, okay? But all this has the purpose of you to save in different ways. So why do you want separate accounts? Because you want to track your progress. You want to know that if you need $9,000 towards your emergency fund and you don't have the $9,000 to allocate it in a one account, let's say you started up with $500 from your income tax refund, like I mentioned last week, then now you take that, and every month you are going to add money to that account until you comply with your own goal of $9,000. Now, again, if you have this emergency fund together with the fund or the goal to buy a house, then it's difficult to know how much money you have on each purpose. Okay? Now, having different accounts for each goal separately creates a boundary. And that is a very important thing. Why? Because you're never going to cross touching this money with that money. There's no commingling of funds, we call it. There's no commingling of funds. And then you'll be always touching the right account for the right purpose. If you have an emergency, where are you going to go? To your emergency fund. If you're ready to purchase a car, where are you going to go? To the account that you've been saving for to purchase a car. Then the other thing, it encourages your best behavior to save more money. When you start looking at your statements and you see that you have money saved on this account, the other account, and everything is growing and everything is multiplying, it gives you an encouragement, a sense of wealth. And it allows you to think of yourself as somebody that's very productive, to say. Actually gives you creativity to find more ways to make more money towards your goals. It makes you feel very accomplished and very on target. Now, this is from the standpoint of emotions and how you feel about yourself. Now, if you do have a plan, a written plan, not a plan in your mind, I'm planning to buy a house, but you don't know the numbers of it. You're never going to buy the house because it takes much more time to get to buy that house if you don't understand the process, if you don't know how much money you need towards that and what entails to get to the closing table. If you want to know more about that subject in a specific, right? Because today we're talking about saving different saving goals. You can always go to my IGTV, and I left a video there about how to purchase a house, right? So there's going to be much more information coming. Thank you for those that are joining me tonight, and I do appreciate your presence. If you're just pass by here learning a little bit, if you have the chance to just share this with other people in your life, believe me, it's going to cause an impact for you as it is going to cause an impact for them. This is about creating wealth, multiplying wealth, bringing more very basic, practical, pragmatic ways to just multiply what you have. Even if you think you have little, even if you think you don't have enough, even if you think you don't have, by you and me meeting here every Tuesday and every Thursday, you are going to change this right here, which in turn is going to reflect in your account. So now, tracking your progress, this is one of the reasons why I'm asking you, have separate saving goal accounts. You have to have separate accounts for each goal. Now, another reason why to have separate accounts is because you can actually automate your saving habits. Meaning, like, you come first. And if you've been with me or explore any of my videos in the past, you know that I talk a lot about that. You have to pay yourself first. Is the most important. You have to make sure that all the productivity, all the production, the hours you work, the money you make, the first portion is for you. What do I mean by that? Is for you to go and shop the mall? No, it's for you to invest in your future, in your goals, in your plan, in the things that you want to achieve into actually increasing your wealth. So when you automate your saving habits, you make money, goes into a checking account. And if you make sure that there is an immediate allocation of that money before you even get to spend it, before you even get to make your bill payments, that's going to be of a lot of good for you. Very, very healthy financially. Avoid building up a single large balance in just one account. When everything comes into just one account, it's okay, but make sure you can call your bank and say that every time I get paid, just transfer this amount of money to this other account. You can automate payments. Now, if you have a specific accounts for your targets, many of the financial institutions offer ACH, so automatic withdrawals from your checking account in a specific dates. And that is fantastic, because if you got paid $1,000 and you have to save 300, I always talk about just only live off of 70%. Those 300, you can send 3 transfers of $100 to 3 different accounts. We'll talk about some accounts that are important to have. Set up these automatic transfers just to keep fattening, to say, getting that accounts richer and richer. If you don't see it, how is the saying going? Out of sight, out of mind. That's the whole goal of this game here. The money game here is about that. So out of sight, out of mind. Set up the automatic transfer, forget about it. Comes in, goes into a different account. You focus on your checking account and what you have to pay, which, by the way, budgeting, I know it's not what most people like. We're going to be talking about that coming up in my workshop. But it's not the way you think. Not the whole number boring thing. I don't do that. We're going to go strictly to the doing and getting it practically done. Budgets are 30 days. And it's a simple way, 30 minutes, one time, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how complex your finances are, once a month. That's all is needed. Now, you pay yourself first. When it comes up to this automating your savings, you pay yourself first because you're the one that produces. Hopefully, if you're visited any of my videos in IGTV or my YouTube channel, hopefully, you learn about the rule of 72. This rule has been my friend for a long time. And learn more about compound interest is important. Why? Because the money under the mattress or the money in a regular saving account at your bank that doesn't pay anything, or in a CD, simple CD, it's not paying a thing, it's not doing you any good. Remember, money doesn't like to stay in one place. Money likes movement. Movement multiplies the money. All right, so that's a second reason why, to me, it's important that you have different accounts, one account for each objective. Another reason is because it reduces the chances of you misspending the money. If you have one account full of money where you put everything you have extra, what's going to happen is at some point, an emergency comes, you have to use the money, you forgot how much it was, you put it in this other account, now you cannot put the money back into that savings account again. It becomes a mess. You start misspending. For some people, and I'm not saying everybody, I want you to get this, because there is a statistic here, and today, for the first time, I always bring you percentages. Today was not about percentages. Because I always like you to know facts, but really, there's some people that are extremely disciplined. But those are like maybe out of my two hands. Maybe just one. It's very difficult to find disciplined people when it comes up to the money itself on one account, because it's a lot to take upon. If you're not that kind, just recognize it, because that is this information I'm bringing you is for that purpose. Look, I'm just not, the best financial sounded person there is in the world, but I know I have to save, and I'm working hard, and I'm bringing money in, and I just need a plan, a system. Okay, so if you are not that organized, having different accounts is going to help you so much. Remember, automate the transfers, have a set goal, know how much, etc., and then just put the money in there. Whatever is left, then you live off of that. Okay, because I don't want to hear the game saying you have to spend less, even though for some people that spend a lot, they do need to watch their spending. But more times than not, it's about making more money. More times than not. Okay, you want to live a better life, be wealthier, feel richer, etc. Gotta make more money. It's not just about living frugal. Living frugal, it's all right for a little while. So now reduce that misspending. Look, some people look at a big balance, especially women. I'm not gonna say we're the only ones, right? But especially women. It's a syndrome. And now you have a lot of money there. So you go to the store, and then you go with your kids, with your children, and the kids go, "Oh, mom, I want this. Oh, mom, I want that." Because the kids when we are children, we're very, very good asking, which is it's a good thing to have. Don't stop your kids from asking. Okay, it's good to ask. Direct the way they ask, but they start asking, and then you think, well, it's okay, I have money there. Pay. Next thing, you come home with a lot of things. Right now, you indulge, you sport everybody, including yourself, and now you forgot about your ideals that you have about maybe getting a better car, moving your family to a better house, accumulating more for retirement, whatever it is. So just reduce that chance. What I'm trying to say is, like, be very specific. If you really want something, open an account for that, start saving on that account towards that. Separate the money. Put it in a different account. Remember, money doesn't like to stay in one place. If you move it, you tell the money with the action, here it is, there's a goal. That money is going to call more money. Believe me, it's just going to do it. Now, for some people, having money separate in different accounts means like more steps to kind of like try to get to that money. So sometimes that prevents people from doing transfers. It's like, oh, okay, so I will have to go log in, try to do this, then transfer the money. No, it's okay. You know what? Whatever it is that I want, it could wait. There is a person that influenced my life for the past 11, 12 years. And this person always is a very wise man. He's in his 70s. And he says that when you want to purchase something, you have to wait 30 days. Every time you want to make some kind of purchase, unless it is groceries, just wait. Just wait, because you have to make sure that you need it. You have to make sure that it's important. Otherwise, you don't need to spend, right? Now, don't use checking accounts to store the money. You need a savings. Now, nowadays, savings accounts, they don't pay interest. I get it. But you don't reach better accounts because you don't have a person that's helping you with your finances, because there are ways, okay? I'm a certified financial coach, and I have clients, and I have helped clients for many, many years. It's 20 years in the industry of finances and real estate and everything. And I am telling you, there are resources and tools out there, all right? So if you don't know that there are ways, just, send me a direct message. Ask the question, and I help you with that. Now, if you have the money in accounts that have no debit card, no ATM card, better, okay? because now you put the plastic in your wallet, and every time you go out, you're like, oh, I have this car, I have this car, I have this car. Savings are savings. They're not a spending accounts. So first of all, you cannot save in your checking account. That's why it's called the checking account. So you can write checks, or you can make payments. We don't write checks lately. I still do, but on some things. But the savings is not a kind of account for you to spend. It's a saving. It's a save. So it's not a checking account that you're gonna go open just to put your money in. If there is a financial institution that is offering to you, let's say, a bonus of $200 for opening an account, make sure that if you're gonna take advantage of that, you're gonna ask, is this a saving or a checking? Because if it's a checking, don't open it up. There are other ways to save the money. Mutual funds are great for that. And not misspending is a protection of your wealth. Remember that. Not misspending your money is just reduce this chance of misspending your money. It's having like a lock, right? Like it's having like a lock on the door. It's just a secure way to just make sure that the door is not gonna be open. Another reason why I'm giving you here is keep your financial plan organized and on target. Now, I mentioned this a few minutes ago. Guys, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a written plan, your chances of achieving your success in life with the years, less, to the point of zero. This is not invented by me. It's proven through years and years and years, decades and centuries. You have to have your goal written somewhere. Hopefully, financial GPS, financial needs analysis, a structurized, doesn't have to be crazy, but simple. How much you make, how much you spend, what are your goals, how much you need towards that, where can the money go? Like, where is the money going? If you have too much month at the end of the money, you have a problem with the spending, or you have a problem with not making enough money, or both. And so visit my other videos. You learn more about that. You have to have a financial plan. It's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Have a financial plan, organized and on target. What is that? Know how much money you need to ultimately get those goals accomplished. Like I said before, you want to buy a car, or you're going to finance part of the car. Okay, but come to the table with some money down. Don't allow the dealership to tell you how much money they want to start the process. Go to the yard, right? Go purchase your car and say, I got 10,000, and maybe the car is 30,000. I got 10,000. I want that car for 22, 25. They're going to say no, 23, and they're going to close a deal with you. Just because you have cash on your hand, they're going to bring down the price because they know that they purchased that car for less than what they're selling it for. The markup is huge. And once you bring cash with you, cash is king. Makes a difference. So now, if you know what kind of a car you want, how much pretty much is going to cost, and you bring at least a third of what the car costs, now you have a goal. So now you have to what? Save 10,000. And you have to give yourself a deadline, 2 years from now. You have to make sure that if you want to accumulate 10,000 in 2 years, you know how much money you have to put in that one set account. So how do you get to know those things? Financial GPS, financial plan, financial needs analysis. And if you don't know how to make one, even though you could research out there are people that we are in this kind of environment that this is what we dedicate our lives to. We know how to put those things together. So just ask and you will receive. Another thing is use mutual funds. When you're gonna open accounts for goals, use mutual funds. You can use other instruments. I call them instruments. That's the way we call them in financial services, but use mutual funds. They're a great way, simple, understanding process for you, for a regular person that's not in the financial arena, that doesn't have licenses in investments and things like that, to say, I want an account that give me a great rate of return. I just don't know much about investing. I'm afraid of investing money in the stock market. I will not ask you to put your savings in the stock market, for God's sake. But let's just say you just don't know nothing about that. Mutual fund, easy to understand. And I'm gonna bring you that information in a separate meet, you and I'm gonna show you how mutual funds work, why it's so important to have those, and how easy to deal with. Worry free to have something like that. I advocate for that because if you're not the high ticketed investor, I am just not going to send you to just manipulate your money that way. That's not the purpose with me. The purpose is for you to have practical ways to implement in your life. Get them done practical. I love being pragmatic, okay? Make sure you have beneficiaries on all your accounts. Please, all your institutions carry a way for you to designate a beneficiary. I don't have children. Okay. I'm not married. Okay. Parents, sisters, siblings, brothers, cousins, non-profit organizations. Not sure. I mean, just beneficiaries. You're building wealth. You're looking into buying some things in life, maybe getting your condo, maybe getting another car, those kinds of things. If you have a family, you don't have beneficiaries. If you live with somebody, you don't have beneficiaries. I mean, we're just not eternal. I mean, maybe spiritually speaking, but not the body. So one day we die. If you don't leave a beneficiary, situation becomes a little difficult. Okay, so we can talk about probate and all those kinds of things. I'm not an attorney, but I can bring you information on that in another meet. Okay, so important to have financial plans, a financial plan, be organized, understand where you're heading, how much you need to have, why, etc. Fifth, this is my fifth reason why to have different accounts. Keep your money insured. What does that mean? Well, some people I have clients, they just like banks because, my money is FDIC insured. What does that mean, Angela? Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation is the institution, the agency, the corporation to say, that's in charge of covering all the accounts, cash accounts, up to $250,000 per depositor, right? So if you have $300,000 in your account and the bank goes sour, then you're going to lose $50,000. 250 are going to be FDIC insured, but the other 50, they cannot do. So this is an insurance. I said insurance, yes, it's an insurance that the institutions, financial institutions carry, specifically banks and others of the like, that says if they are going to have a storage of your money, they are going to guarantee, not the bank, the FDIC guarantees. That's why when you see the bank advertisement, let's just say, I don't want to name banks, but bank institution so-and-so, and it says FDIC, right? So it's insured by that corporation. They buy insurance on every $250,000 of cash that you put, that you deposit in the bank, collectively per account, right? Now, if the amount of money you've deposited exceeds the 250, I have to remind you again, you're not gonna get that. That's why it's important also to spread the money. So I have some clients and they just definitely like to have bank because they think the bank is secure. We know the catastrophe of 2008, and we know it's not secure. But let's just say by this insurance alone, you can spread money into different accounts and at least have that security, right? That money insured. Now, splitting is always good. Like I said, it's just a strategy. It's just a strategy. You just don't put everything, all your eggs in one basket, because it's scary. So that you cannot marry just one bank either. You can marry one person, but not just the bank. It's like insurance. You cannot do that either. Now, how many saving goals should I have? That's a great question. And I make a small stop here just to remind you two things. Well, first, before reminding you, thanking you for being with me, bearing here, learning with me. I promise I'm simple to explain things. I get things to you. You're going to be able to apply. It's going to stay with you. And you can share this information with a lot of people. Okay? This is simple terms. A lot of people should get to know these things, make changes in life. All this information gets stored in my IGTV here on Instagram, and you can always reach and do me that great favor. Just look for me on YouTube and just subscribe and like and share. Make comments there. If you want more information about something specific that you want to learn about, go ahead and send me a direct message and I'll make sure that I get that information. I see somebody that I know over there, and that's Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Hope every business, every idea, it's coming out great. Thank you for being here with us. So how many saving goals should I have? As many as you need to have. How do I know? Remember what I said. You need to have a GPS, financial GPS. You need to know where you're heading. So establish a list, the 3 main accounts. I mentioned this at the beginning of our meet today. Go my IGTV and look for the 3 accounts that will make you rich. When I say the 3 accounts that will make you rich, I'm serious, guys. Serious, super serious. You have to learn these 3 most important things. These are the foundation and the base of your savings or building your wealth, besides protecting. Protecting is the major covering. But the foundation of multiplication of the wealth lies in these 3. Now I'm going to refresh you that. Emergency fund account. A short-term goal savings accounts with an S at the end because it's several different ones. And long-term goals investments accounts. Savings and investments. I said I was going to use those terms interrelatable, right? Or interrelatively. Let's talk about the emergency fund. If you want to see the visual, this is going to be in YouTube. Emergency fund. If you can have these 3 accounts or these 3 types of accounts in which you are going to be able to say, okay, so here are my goals, and now I can actually divide my goals in what I want, you are going to see your goals happen. Just try it. Put what I say to the test and then give me a testimony and see if it's true or false. If you just go set up these 3 types of account, and through these accounts, you set your goals and you just get at it, hit me back with your testimony and let me know if it worked for you. Because I've been doing this, it's 20 years, okay, and it works. So emergency fund is number 1 kind of account. The goal up here is 3 months of your income. 3 months of your income put away. I always say 3 to 6 months, maybe 12. 12 is the best thing you can have. So you have to reserve 3 months. So if you make $4,000, you need $12,000 put away just for emergency alone. And it cannot be in a checking account, and it cannot stay on the regular savings, because this is for emergency. This is not to withdraw every time you don't have money on your checking. This is emergency fund. This is not a let me cover for whatever I misspend. You see how we get to the point? So emergency fund is a 1 account different from the checking and saving, and it's gotta go hopefully on a mutual fund, on a very liquid kind of instrument. And you have to have 3 months of your income. If you make $5,000 a month, you have to have 15,000. If you make 6, 18. If you make 3, 9. You have to just make sure. If I make $1,000 a month, and I say this because there are people internationally that follows my information, so I cannot just relate to the United States of America money system. So you have to learn how much money you bring in every single month. Even if you work for yourself, you make an average. Go and check how much money you made the last 6 months, and then, make your calculation. 3 months worth of that you got to put in an emergency fund. And then this is for simple things. You lost your job. Now you have to make payments for 1, 2, 3 months. Here in the United States, with the situation we've been going through with the, I don't want to say what it is. Since 2020 to now, there's some people without a job. And a lot of people suffering, waiting for the government to maybe help them out. It's not the same waiting for a check, a stimulus check, or some unemployment that doesn't even cover the amount of money that you used to make. It's just not the same. So having those 3 months are going to guarantee peace of mind in your life. A good rule of thumb, right, is 6 months of your salary put away. That's like fantastic. And if you get to raise the bar to 12, just because of the situation that we live in the world, guys, you will be set. Okay, I'm telling you, emergency fund, do not leave it on a savings account. Some experiencing very, very short disconnection there, but we are back now. Short-term savings. This is the other account or kind of account where you have to establish goals. So short-term savings, the goal here is going to be 6 months of income. Anything that needs more than 6 months to save. Let me put it in another way. So anything in which you have to purchase, anything that's going to require an effort of more than 6 months, those are short-term savings. This is like, let's just say you lost the job and it's going to take you 6 more months. This is not emergency savings, okay? This is short-term savings, something else. This is, you had an accident and you don't have any coverage. Maybe a car accident, very, very common. And now you're paralyzed or, for a few months you can't work. And unfortunately your insurance doesn't cover, whatever it is. But you do have 6 months, 8 months put away. That's a great thing to have because those are disabilities, maybe long-term, short-term disabilities. To purchase a car, that's a short-term goal. Purchase a car. The down payment of your first house. Or maybe accumulating some money towards an income house, meaning you already have your house, you're almost paid off with your house, and now you want another property so you can make income of that property. So you don't come out with the entire money, but you're gonna put the money down and the closing costs to that. And any kind of purchase that means 3 to 5 years. Within the first 3 to 5 years, I'm gonna have to purchase that. Maybe you got married and you didn't go on honeymoon. So now that's a goal, to make it to the honeymoon. Or maybe your 25th anniversary is coming up and in the next 3 to 5 years, and now you want to save so you and your honey can go wherever you guys want to go. So that's a goal. You cannot commingle that money with the emergency fund because it will be disastrous. Imagine you telling your spouse, your significant other, that you've been together for 22 years and in 3 years we're gonna go to I'm not sure, Hawaii, Maldives, Malaysia, I don't know, wherever you want to go. Paris, no, I don't know, I'm not sure if right now you want to go to Paris, but let's just say. And then by that time you commingle, you put the money with the emergency fund and something happened and now you don't have the money to purchase and you are forced to use a credit card. You just committed suicide right there with your money. Okay, so that's short-term savings. Now, this is the third kind of account in which you spread goals. And when I said these three styles of account are the basics, mean that after that, each style has a goal. Okay? Because some goals are long-term. You know what is a long-term goal? If you have children, a long-term goal, and you want your children to go to college, a long-term goal is to save money for them to go to college. Not for them to request a loan from the government and live off of debt, but for you to set financial freedom for your children. Now, not every parent likes to save money for their kids. Some parents bank on their kids' abilities and skills to just get a sponsor, right? But if you're not sure whether your kid can do that or not, at least save some money towards that. That's a long-term goal. So now, long-term savings and investments. College savings, let's just say a future, let's just say 10-year plan to retire, 30 years ahead to retire. Any kind of thing that is more than 10 years is a long-term saving. And it requires, remember I said, I'm going to use the word saving, I'm going to use the word investment. It requires investment. Investment is any kind of account that is manipulated, managed, or administered in a way in which you can make money out of your money, in which the value of the account grows, you have equity, and you have returns. There are distributions, there are different things, okay, that you get. You gain income, you gain value on that account, and it grows tax deferred, hopefully, right? Or it's like a kind of annuity. It's vehicles that you use just to put your money, get more money. By the time you retire, you don't have to work. If you want to work, you work, but you have money coming in every single month because you set that goal. Now, in order for you to know how much money you need to have by the time you retire, you have to account for the years, you have to account for your age, you have to account for the income and the kind of a lifestyle you want to live. Now, with I was checking a program this morning, and I was watching this Korean gentleman, very wealthy, and he was mentioning something about pretty much the time people retire, life expectancy, and it called my attention. So, I realized today that for the majority of us, many people, for many years, understand that you are going to retire at 60, and maybe you're going to pass away around 80s. I don't know who said that. It's not in my mind. Is it in yours? Because with the technology, what we have available, many people could live up to 120. Call me crazy, but I think we're going to see it. And what if you get to 60 and you thought you were going to live like for 20, 25 and you outlive your own money? I'd be scared. So I don't know about you, but if you don't know that calculation, let me know, because it's time for us to work together. You need to know how much money you need, and you need to know how much that's going to last. And it's a very simple way to do it. We have the ways. You just need to know how, right? Protect your assets, you guys. And I'm almost about to finish. Protect your assets. When you have money here, money there, goals, desires, you're putting a life together, you're growing. This period between you're 25 all the way to like you're 60, that period of accumulation requires protection. Regardless of whether you're single, married, looking for somebody, doesn't matter. Responsibility with your own assets, and that means you have to protect what you have. That's insurance, the right kind. Don't be buying what you don't need to. The right kind. I'll bring that subject at a later live in Instagram. But that is the foundation of any financial plan. I will do you a disservice if I just encourage you to save, and don't remind you to have insurance in your life. You don't protect your life, you just cover for the income you produce, especially if you have people that depend on you. Do not go in life thinking that you're okay without it, because you'll be okay without it, because you die. It's the people that stay that are not okay without what you were doing for them. So think about that. It's not about you, it's about others. You leave a legacy, and that's important. Get a financial plan, establish your priorities, save, invest, multiply, open different accounts, give them a name. You know what? I forgot to mention this. But what if you have a daughter, or a friend of yours have one, and the daughter is going to turn 16 here in America, or 15 in the majority of Latin American countries? There's a party going. It's like getting married. It's kind of like the first, even Jewish have that tradition. Okay, they celebrate at a certain point when you turn a certain age, and it's a party, and that includes spending money. That's a goal. So revise that, add it to it. Everything that needs some money to be spent. So in order for you to acquire something, that exchange right there requires a goal. Give it a name. Have it visually, that at a glance, if I can call out your name and say, hey, John, how much do you need for this? Oh, I need this. How much are you saving on a monthly basis? I'm saving $325. Even if you don't know the exact number, but to know that you automated that, and it's happening every 6 months, every 3 months, every time you review and you see your statements and you see everything is growing, and hopefully in the right place, so you can get rate of return, so you can make money on your money. Remember, the money doesn't like to stay in one place. So you guys, practice, learn more, put a plan into action. Do not stay the same way you are, because then the results are always going to be the same you have right now. And it's 8:57. I only have like a couple of more minutes. I want to thank you for you bearing here with me, sharing this information in regards to just opening different accounts, spreading the wealth you have the right way, and targeting what you want. Do it. Put it to practice. Put my word to test, and let me know. Send me a testimony. Go start by these 3 accounts: emergency fund, a retirement account, and a secondary just for vacation. Just do those 3. Do those 3, right? Find a mutual fund, great rate of return, 9 to 12%. Make sure they are in the right funds. And let me know 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Believe me, every automated transfer that you do to these accounts, they are going to do you super well, and you are going to feel super wealthy, which is the most important thing, because money attracts money. And if you have your house in order, things happen the right way. You can always visit all this information right on my YouTube and here on IGTV. You guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening wherever you are. When you find this video, share it with other people. Do me that great favor of allowing me to get to other people's houses and minds, and just teach them a little bit more. Let them put in practice what you learned today. And if you like this, just leave me a comment. Tell me what it did for you. And I see you next Tuesday. English Thursday is a Spanish version of this information. So if you have any Spanish speaker around you, they deserve to learn more about savings, more about investment, more about multiplying their money. So share that with them, and leave me a comment, leave me a question, leave me a direct message if you want to know more about anything in a specific. I leave you now. Angela Barria, certified financial coach, more than 20 years experience, and we talk and see each other next Tuesday. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night.